To load up, then I can update the thumbnail. Oops, I forgot to change the titles as well. My bad. Yeah, I forgot something. Gotta make sure I select this right game as well. That's fixed. I believe all that's fixed. I just need to make sure update the YouTube thumbnail. And there we go. Perfect. A little bit of a hazardous start. My bad. Today, just not 100% prepared. Let's go ahead and get started. It's 2v2. Let's save that a little bit for later. Got a whole bunch of 1v1s. And let's go ahead and do this one here. SVS, Soviet versus Soviet. Yep, so let's go ahead and get started. Greetings everyone, and Grade here for another Red Alert 3 replay. So on the bottom side as the Yellow Soviets, we have Give Me a Good 1v1. So on the north side as the Magenta Soviet, we have Nox Inger. So Soviet versus Soviet Mir should be quite interesting. All they know is Allies OP. Screen. We got the bears now advancing on in. They will find a single yellow bear there, and the yellow bear does get locked down and will be eaten. It's not a dog eat dog world, but a bear eat bear world. We got these two bears pushing their way up north. There's an escort the combat engineer. Got a single conscript here. Conscripts in garrison. Won't be able to do much versus a bear because it takes more than one burst from conscript to kill off a bear, but getting inside garrison will fire all the bursts in the world. Yellow stream with some bears on in over here. Combat engineer will get inside the oil deck, and it does do a nice drive by bear slice. Didn't see any attack animation there. Takes out the bear right there. One of the bears do get gunned down. Does take a bit of damage there to take out a bear. If I were to bring up a health bar there, yeah, it takes like 5 bursts? Jeez, that's a lot of bears shots. We got a single terror drone here and got some Molotovs pushing the way forward. Both sides deployed out a massive number of bears. Molotovs have been thrown. A single conscript does abandon the garrison, but the Tesla drone, terror drone there does get taken out by the conscript, and the conscript actually gets AoE damage. Does fire some bursts off there, but it does, of course, get the roar there. Now the conscript can take a sweet time to kill everything off. The conscript does receive some try there, and that brings up the conscript to fully heroic. Got one Molotov there. It does get killed off right there. There's another guy inside the garrison, which does get gunned down as well. Sickle pushes way forward, and the Sickle versus Sickle fight there, and we've got the garage deploy up on getting by Magenta. So Magenta has self-healing ground vehicles, can be very helpful for a Soviet player. They're probably very helpful in Soviet versus Soviet fight. There's a terror drone here. And it looks like Magenta does go back on the high ground. Conscript does garrison, and you will claim the garrison. A lot of bears here. They can't do anything versus the large number of sickles Yellow has deployed on now. Does get a nice jump there on top of the bears, getting 2 of the bears. And the Sickles are not taking a whole lot of damage from the Conscript Garrison. But now we do have a hammer tank there, but does get snared by the high ground Terradrone. This is already turning into a very interesting map. And now we've got the Leech Beam there. Hammer Tank's trying to eye him for a free gun. Does de-garrison the Garrison in time. And now the Hammer Tank does have an anti-infantry weapon. Two Terradrones on the high ground. We've got, of course, 3 Sickles up here, which could ambush it if we could take out that Terradrone. And then focus down the Sickle there, but fresh Hammer Tank will prevent that. And now we've got the Garage now under siege. He does need, of course, to take that out. Does use the Terradrone to take out the snare, the other Hammer Tank. And now the Sickle's going to be focused on the Sickles as the Terradrone's trying to go for the Terradrone, but does not get the kill there. And of course, got the Terradrone snaring the Sickle himself. And got the Terradrone infecting the Hammer Tank down the low ground. The Garage cannot repair destroy the Terradrone. And that was a poor jump, but looks like he does manage to back away enough. And the self-repair is being very, very useful. Does go ahead to the high ground there with, and that is completely not cut off. I guess cut off. It is a mesa with no ramp up to it. He's bringing back the Hammer Tank there, and he's trying to go for a Crusher Crane. He's trying to siphoning down the War Factor just to stall out long enough for a Repair Drone. He needs to get closer to Repair Drone. He is out of range, but barely. And he is going to go ahead and let it go down. Airfield being pulled out by Magenta. And we've got a Hammer, the Sickle engaged Sickle, but the Magenta one should win out. And we've got more jumps to the high ground. Terradrone does go down there. I think it may have been a Magenta Terradrone. Now the Garage is under siege once again. And this Terradrone does go ahead and snare himself a Sickle. And does not infect the Hammer Tank there. Would have been saved either way. Garage is almost focused down entirely. It does go and get jumped there, getting the Terradrone there, and the other Sickle does go down. The Garage has been saved. And will be repaired on up. Keep the Garage alive. It is important. I hear a Twin Blade, not a Sentry Gun. And the Ore Collector will get enough repairs there to get out of the heavy damage state, because he has the Garage. Terradrone on the C. The Ore Collector apparently is not in range, or still technically inside the ore mine, preventing it from being snared. Twin Blades pursuing the Terradrone, but unable to get the kill there. Single Molotov coming forward, cleans out the Garrison, severely wounded. I hear gunfire. Wait, okay, they're hitting the Terradrone there. It sounded like the gunfire was going off before the Terradrone arrived, but now we've got a heroic Conscript inside this Garrison here. I'll say both of them out of range. Those on Molotov there, and does focus fire there now. And he does get gunned down there thanks to the heroic status of that Conscript. Yellow MiG rules the sky. And we've got 2 Terradrones here now. Black Tower is pointing out. He needs a Tesla Coil or a Sentry Gun in the current rate for all the Terradrones. Engineers get inside the Garrison. Right? That was an Engineer. Am I crazy? Was that an Engineer? We got Terradrone infect onto Yellow's Ore Collector over here. Will it de-garrison this Garrison? Will it be Conscript or not? Going for a Crusher Crane over here. Trying to get that, save that Ore Collector. If that was a Conscript, he should at least get out and get inside this Garrison here. I believe that was a Engineer. Oh, I think that was satellites that came down there. Now Yellow's Collector is in the heavy damage state. Windblade does get forced back. Wanted to had flak troops in the back of it, but now got a large wave of Magenta Twin Blades pushing out as well. And that's an Engineer. Was there an Engineer cap inside that Twin Blade? Interesting. Worth a try sometimes, but that's a rare sight. And we got the MiG being shot down right there. Or their Oriole Derrick does go down. Conscript are inside this garrison. I still believe there's a combat engineer in here. There is a combat engineer there. I wasn't crazy. Yellow still has his Oriole Derrick. Nothing keeping it secure. Not even a conscript inside a garrison. So it can easily destroy it there. And now we do have these magenta forces push the way forward. Apparently the garage does not repair a terror drone. I'm actually sort of surprised about that. Let's get being repaired by a field hospital then? And the terror drone will be gunned down there by the conscript, giving him fully heroic status. We got some bullfrogs on low ground there, getting some damage there onto the twin blades. Over here, we do got the yellow MCV here. What is going on this game? Is he trying to turret push as Soviets? We got Tesla coil and a flak cannon and a reactor being deployed out on the high ground. I can see the weapons, but I'm not sure about the reactor there. MiG does receive quite a bit of fire there. Conscripts are advancing. He will go ahead and get a Tesla trooper out, and the conscripts will gun down the bullfrog there, getting a second heroic conscript. And he does not know about this. Is on the high ground. Black cannon is up. The Tesla coil is almost up. We do got the Tesla airstrike. He should be able to withstand it for long enough. And here comes the Tesla coil. Who pushes as Soviets? Who really pushes as Soviets? The battle lab does go down. Another unusual item to see. It does set off a lot of those structures in range of the Tesla coil. I don't know if he knows about even the flak cannon or even the reactor at this point in time. The fact that twin blades are not engaging it, he must realize there is a flak tower there. Does crush the ore collector. And we do get the garage captured up by yellow. Maybe that's one reason why the terror drone wasn't being repaired up. Maybe it was already in yellow's hand. I wasn't really paying attention to that. Got a single MiG here. The bullfrog does get snared by a apocalypse thing, and yellow's ground army has got destroyed. He does have reinforcements here. A number of conscripts and as well some Tesla troops there, which will be not good for the apocalypse tank, but it does get the harpoon gun to grab some guys towards him. And Natasha's here getting spring work in, does manage to get Natasha out of the bullfrog in time, but there's not a whole lot of anti-aircraft for either side. Both magentas and yellows twin blades should reign supreme. Natasha does get cleaned up. The rest of these forces will be cleaned up well. The hammer tank does get a second gun there. There's a pair of twin blades here. MiG does find a kill there. And we still have these defenses here. Offensive static weapon placements there. It does help all the structures when you saw the satellites. Looks like at least in tier 2, maybe tier 3. It was tier 2. Apocalypse Tank still has a harpoon lance. Does grab one of these hammer tanks. And it does get gunned down there by those twin blades as they were going for the Tesla trooper. Garage will go down, which is a asset lost for both sides because both sides enjoyed using it. And the harpoon lances will come in from the high ground. The Apocalypse Tanks does have already its own repair system. It does have a great repair system. Does get a snipe shot there with Natasha. Does get Natasha there, but does lose all 3 twin blades in return. If the Apocalypse Tanks is able to push forward and able to grab stuff from the low ground, it will instantly kill stuff as they start entering there. Does capture the bullfrog with a Tesla trooper is expensive, but doesn't have any conscripts nearby for it. And there we go. Does pick off instantly a hammer tank there with the grab. If he brings it to the shore or brings up or down the ground, it will instantly kill it. Apocalypse Tanks have their own instant kill ability. It's just a very rare item to see. Got a big wave of conscripts coming forward, which would be a good meat shield for Yellow's force. And we got an iron curtain deployed up here. I kept on saying ion. But the Apocalypse Tank does get grabbed there. And Natasha's making his way forward, does get a cash bounty there. Does get Natasha inside of the Bullfrog as they throw her forward. Tesla Airstrike does come forward, but the Apocalypse Tank is still grabbed. Tesla troops pushing way forward. He may be eyeing for the lockdown ability, the EM Destructors. Got some hammer tanks right here, as well as one of the hammer tanks is the crew. Natasha will go down again, but no, Natasha has been relatively successful in a lot of stuff. And does even kill off the Terror Drone that came out of that. This hammer tank does go down as well, as the Desolator Strike has faded away, as Magenta's Bullfrogs are getting nice snare there. One remaining and will be picked up no problem, which will leave Magenta vulnerable to the air forces of his opponent. Conscript firing his AK-47 at point-blank range against Bullfrog. Sentry gun. Sentry going up. Terran does go down there. Two of the Tesla troopers got the hammer tanks now advancing forward. This sentry gun will go on down. Just need a dispenser and teleporter next to it.
MiG going down! I repeat, MiG going down!
MiGs do go down. And we do have the Twin Blades now headed down south, which Magenta has a Dreadnought. It's also elite, so it's been out for a bit of time. Maybe put out some structures. It will be gunned down there, but going for the super reactor, maybe a good idea to use sacrificial launchers. Yeah, I think he used sacrificial launchers at the last moment to get an extra salvo. He's some good damage in. He's going to duck and lose, might as well get as much damage out of it as possible. Yellow does have two Crusher Cranes, so the MCV, if it's still alive, it may actually be, there it is, can go around, deploy two structures, and then pack on up, using the Crusher Cranes as its build queues. Yellow's Twin Blades pushing forward to get some good rockets there. And now we've got some wall segments going on down for Yellow. And the wall segments are a bit scattered. No real rhyme or reason, looks like. And now here comes Apocalypse Tanks. Does receive some satellites, level 1 satellites. And does get started off by a war factory there. Magenta's Twin Blades pushes his way forward. He still, of course, has two Crusher Cranes for build queues. The Apocalypse thinks that elite status, maybe we'll see a fully heroic Apocalypse Tank. Apocalypse Tank's now fully heroic. A very rare sight indeed. Also grabs himself a Bullfrog. Looks like all of the Bullfrogs go down for Magenta, and Yellow doesn't have a whole lot either. Single MiG does go down, but no, Magenta has a whole sortie of MiGs. Does use Iron Curtain there onto the heroic Apocalypse Tanks. It will take a bit of time to get that repaired up, but will not get the next kill there on the Bullfrog. Maybe a good idea to back off of both of these. They both need a lot of time to heal on up. And without the barrage, the healing will take, of course, a little bit longer. This observation post has still not been captured up, which could be actually useful. Another Dreadnought has been pulled on out. As MiGs are engaging each other, those drop another MiG there. Now here comes some Dreadnought missiles. Yellow's Twin Blades in pursuit of the Dreadnought once again. Press use sacrificial launchers. Yeah, you can see the smokestack there. Let's fire another volley before going down. That next volley will only do damage. Something got sold off over here, I'm not so sure what. And now we do have an airfield being deployed out on at the sea, as well as another reactor. It looks like the heroic Apocalypse Tank may have gone down. Because neither of those are heroic. Neither is this one here. But the heroic Apocalypse Tanks may have been picked off. Shame. Magenda's also deployed out a vacuum imploder, which is this other super weapon he has now out in the field. No sell off the airfield there. Does have a single flak tower here, gains some decent damage in. Now the MiGs in pursuit gains some great damage in there. Needing them on a continuous move order. Could have gotten a couple more down there, but got a good chunk of them. Another fresh airfield. And does get a spot in there. Takes out the elite bullfrog. Takes out that bullfrog. Not sure if you can actually grab the Terror Drone right there. The Terror Drone itself may actually be bugged because it was on the cliffside. Now the Slayer airstrike and the Cinder gun is still up. Looks like the V4 does get toxic, corroded. I'm not sure what to call it. Poisoned. Magenta has a pretty good air force as well, with a good amount of air escorts. 2 of them are elite. Over here, we've got the bullfrogs that were still alive. Getting some pot shots there on the twin blades. And the Iron Curtain's now ready. He could potentially Iron Curtain the airfield, but it's probably not worth it. MiGs need to start pursuing these forces here. Of course, got a single Kirov airship. The MiGs could take it out quickly. Maybe a good idea. Uses let the twin blades advance while they're distracted. The Kirov will go down. And now got some Molotovs being thrown out. Magenta could push forward with Conscript to gun him down, or Molotov his opponent's structure now. Good number of defensive hammer tanks there, but both sides have quite a bit of an air force. Twin blades will swap some twin blades, but of course Magenta does get a first strike there of his own MiGs. He does force on the garrison. 1 twin blades do go down. MiGs are fighting each other. 1 of the MiGs do go down. 2 of the Magenta's MiGs do go down as well. Does spawn another Kirov. And Kirov does go down. Another one, the conscripts do go down there. And Satellite's now raining on in. Does Iron Curtain this infrastructure? He will save the battle lab and the airfield. Everything else will take a bit of a beating. Might be a bit wasteful to use the Iron Curtain there. It's hard to say, actually. But if you were to let... Oh, it looks like the MiGs do not get invulnerability. It's only when that effect is first initiated. If he gets spotted here, he may be able to harpoon some of these forces, and does use a single parachuting bear to help spot. Natasha does get spotted, and she does get avoided right there with the bullfrog. V4 does get killed there, I think, on all those Terror Drones. Hammer Tank's now starting to stream on in. He knows Iron Curtain's on cooldown. Perfect time to go on in. Just basic infrastructure here. No flak troopers inside this garrison. We got another Tesla coil. Oh, a Tesla coil being deployed out there. Satellite's spraying on as well. Does use the stun shot there, which may be able to get some good kills with either twin blades or the satellites. They may get some friendly fire damage there with the satellite. And here comes. Nice. He saved his Tesla trooper by getting inside the garrison and even takes out the Terror Drone right there. We do got a decent naval force as well. 2 dreadnoughts, some escorting bullfrogs, and even two Stingray escorts. Magenta has a massive army. Magenta does not have to go on the offense. He has the vacuum floater. It's less than a minute away, so it will be fired off. But fired off where? Will he try to hit the army or his opponent's infrastructure? This would be a great spot for the vacuum floater. Float it right around here. Combined with the super reactor, it will destroy nearly all this nearby infrastructure. Or you can hit the army, maybe forcing a GG. Bullfrogs here. There's 4 bullfrogs. That's going to be deadly for the twin blades. Does avoid some of the twin blade rockets as well. It's not going to be a good engagement there for yellow. He does take out all the Bullfrog X-Force, except for the Fresh Reinforcement one. This Dreadnought does get some rockets off, gain some good damage in. And even the Stingrays make it onto land. MiGs do protect the Stingray, and Vacuum Imploder is now online. I'll keep an eye on the actual cooldowns. Hard to say if he's going to cast it. Looks like he's eyeing for the army, not for the infrastructure. Now what Magenta needs to do, he needs to force an engagement to force this one to group up for the Vacuum Imploder, either on its retreat path or onto the in-combat path. Oh, here's the Vacuum Imploder as well. Misses the Super Reactor, which has actually been an oversight, but then again, he may not have that spotted down. Does take out the refinery there, does take out the other infrastructure. It will take a long time to repair up these structures and a lot of resources. Doesn't cancel that and needs to. No, that's no ore collector there. Rather than trying to spend money to get it repaired, he sells off, rebuilds it, probably be quicker, safer, and maybe even cheaper in the long run. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Apocalypse tanks here. I hear a lot of stuff being built. This is all Magenta stuff. He's deploying a flat cannon Tesla coil on the low ground, as well as a reactor for extra power. Another Desolator Strike does melt a bear, or maybe that's a Helltrooper. That's a very large melt effect there. Iron Curtain is now online. He could force another engagement there. Maybe have 5 Iron Curtain Apocalypse Tanks charged into his opponent's line. All he needs to do is take out some of the Bullfrogs, and the Magenta Air Forces can sweep on in. Speaking about forces, we've got the Naval Force advancing. No Stingrays for escort. Does use an Iron Curtain there onto the Dreadnought. Best use a Sacrificial Launcher to start firing in aggressive mode, but no, he fires a volley into the Tesla Paradrone there. Does get a Paradrone over there, but it's not getting any good targets. He's hitting the Bullfrog. Actually, in fact, the Bullfrog, if he would have killed it with the Dreadnought, it would have saved the Dreadnought. That is a massive oversight, I would say. I suppose those all Twin Blades there as well. Oh, Wilson managed to fire one more volley there as well. Didn't get the kill there on the refinery. Ooh, MiG's getting ripped apart there. Bullfrogs are engaging. Hammer tanks will be engaged with the Bullfrogs. And now here comes the Apocalypse tanks a little bit late. Does get one harpoon there, but doesn't actually get the full kill there. Managed to get a free Paradrone there. And now here comes the, looks like tier 3 satellites. The D4 panic can fade through what's called? The hammer tank. There is Natasha on the low ground as well. Gets a decent hit there. He does find a Bullfrog there. There's not a whole lot of anti-air force here, but the MiG, especially with 14, some great splash damage in there. And here comes the cluster bombs, getting some good splash damage all across the front line. You've got the Terra Drone snaring the Terra Drone. Got a good amount of Twin Blades advancing. And we've got conscripts inside that garrison. We have some conscripts here to draw some fire. Got a decent number of Bullfrogs here. And now there's a yellow Natasha, which would be great to take out those or to snipe those Apocalypse. Something you should have got perhaps a bit time ago, because Natasha's a great counter to the Apocalypse tank. Yellow's to play out his own Iron Curtain. We do got Desolate Airstrike here, which does, Natasha does avoid Desolate Airstrike. One of the Hammer Tanks, of course, does get snared, and Natasha is still on the low ground over here. Twin Blades are making way forward, does get some damage there. Bullfrog's coming to escort. He needs to get some spotting gear. Maybe a Bullfrog firing a Conscript or Bear up in the air to spot. Does get force fire the ground there, gain some damage there with the cluster rounds. This Hammer Tank, the heroic one, does have an extra gun there from a Hammer Tank. V4 does get directed there on one of the Apocalypse tanks. Oh, no, that's actually a captured V4 launcher on top of the Hammer Tank. Very nice. Hammer Tanks are just going charging forward. Don't worry about Harpoons. Those take a long time to get kills. Just charging forward. He does have the Iron Curtain. He could use the Iron Curtain right about now. But it's just going to save it. It does get the Iron Curtain there, but actually Iron Curtain's his opponent's Crusher Crane as well. That'd be a good idea to destroy some infrastructure, put these guys aggressive so they start hitting some buildings while driving around. Does get a crush there. Terror Drone has popped on out as well. Does get a kill there on the Terror Drone. And we'll go and crush and harpoon down all of this infrastructure, including the Iron Curtain Battle Lab. Magenta scrolls to the front line, picks up the V4 Hammer Tank. May have been a good idea to sell up all those structures. But yes, we got actually a huge wave of Bullfrogs in opponent's base. It does take out one of the refineries there. Vacuum Ploder is off, ready to be fired. Yellow loses Vacuum Ploder himself. There's a Vacuum Ploder getting the kill on all of these. Wow. Okay, there's damage. Takes out almost all the Bullfrogs here. Now the MiGs do have air superiority. Bullfrogs need some great damage there, but they're getting focused down one at a time, which is not exactly great. Magenta has doing a good job on all the armor there. Creep crushes the Super Reactor, takes out the Apocalypse tank there. The repair drones are currently repairing up the repair drones, as this Bullfrog does get taken out there. A lot of veterancy on these Twin Blades here. Take up this power plant, we'll take all the nearby reactors and pass put in the low power mode. It does get destroyed there, destroying all the nearby reactors, putting the severe infrastructure damage on the nearby. Both sides have lost their ground base, sells off all the infrastructure here. That's a good idea to sell it all off, just get any cash bounty and muster up ground items. We do have a super reactor being deployed out there. Sells off the Tesla coil, saving the flak tower. And we'll find the cash bountied Apocalypse tanks there, getting a nice cash refund. But you got Natasha here. These Apocalypse tanks are doing a good job of distracting his opponent. Maybe did see Natasha right there. Natasha can, of course, snipe buildings, not instantaneously, but quite quickly. Trying to block Natasha's line of sight there, but she will get gunned down, no problem. A lot of heroic Twin Blades there. 5 heroic, 1 elite, 2 unvetted. Still kind of good mixed combat force here by Magenta, including some Bullfrog escort to go on the V4s and Apocalypse tanks, and there's still the heroic Hammer tank. Yellow's starting to re-expand out to this depleted refinery. One front airfield on the ground. Sells off some of the infrastructure there. Tesla coil can be sold off as well. As far as enough, this infrastructure hasn't actually been destroyed. So he's going to get it, start back up going. Of course, it's depleted, so reduces the income. Relic 3 Corona. I mean, I talking about the Revorasaur server. This is just a copy I have off of EA's Origin. We do have the magnetic singularity being deployed out right there. But yeah, if you're interested in like Red Alert 3 and Kane's Wrath, I believe, no, it's command post for. If you look up, if you remember, Command & Conquer or Aurora server, I believe that's what he used for. You don't play online anymore. If you want for Kane's Wrath stuff, there's also the command, what's called command post. We do got some good damage there coming out onto the ore collector there, quickly sniping it off. It is a large investment for the depleted refineries. We do have these bullfrogs being snared or infected by the terror drones. We'll just send this off to die over there, not get distracted. Going for a flak cannon over here. Expensive investments when these have no refineries remaining. Bullfrog will be chased down as well. These guys are so veteran heroic. Yeah, there's 5 heroic, 2 elite now. Even finding a good angle on these Apocalypse tanks. We'll not get the kill there. And we got satellites being brought in up north as well. Doesn't fit the armored skirts there with this one here. And starting to repair up this infrastructure. Because Alpha Wall segments get a bit of cash, both sides have been running very low in income. Even the naval refineries are depleted, so the oil derricks are down as well. All the income is depleted. So whatever they spend on is basically permanent expenditures. Is very little income remaining from both sides. What was it, 25% return? Not even that. So they don't even technically, having both of them on 3 refineries, not even technically 1 refinery. Does take out the terror drone right there. Hammer tank still being queued up and trying to be pushed by the D4. This one will get cleaned up. Does use cash bounty there, which is very useful at least. Magnetic singularity does come forward. This hammer tank does get infected. Which apparently the infection is stopped while magnetic singularity is going on. It does destroy his own hammer tank there to make sure the terror drone does go down. Another terror drone right there does get the effect on the heroic Apocalypse tank. It will slowly go down there. Escalator airstrike does come forward. And it's unlikely it's going to save that hammer tank. Blades making their advance. We'll find the unpacked MCV. There is a pair of flak towers here. We also got a damaged ore collector there. And the bullfrogs are now saying hello to each other. These forces are trying to back away. Cash bounty on these forces. I'm not sure who actually cast that. That may be Yellow's cash bounty. Does kill off there, and that was a yellow cash bounty there. So when we get a small cash bounty, and magnetic singularity does come forward, which it does dodge in time, but this Apocalypse tank may be cleaned on up. It's severely wounded, and it does go down there. At this point, it may be a good idea for Magenta to go for some Stingrays and Bullfrog combo. Anything other than that is going to be way too expensive. You can't afford Dreadnought, and it'll be a big target for those twin blades. He needs Stingrays and Bullfrogs. He has a lot of Bullfrogs, so Stingrays would be great. He doesn't have any sort of flak tower here, nor does he have any anti-air, so potentially a squadron of MiGs could be quite useful. Hopefully these are MiGs. There's 2 bullfrogs out in the field. V4 firing this so heroic V4, which will quickly get picked off. Does cash bounty his own V4 there to get a bit of extra cash. At that point, it's not a cash bounty, but a cash rebate. And that conscript does get a nice kill there onto that Terror drone. No Crusher Crane over here, so it's going for Twin Blades. Yellow's re-expanding to his main refinery, but it's an expensive investment. It may not be worth it. It would take a long time to get any sort of return. But then it's going for a Crusher Crane. No, cancel the Crusher Crane. He could crush some of his bullfrogs. Oh, magnetic satellite being cast on in. Oh no, that's magnetic singularity, which does provide an EMP effect as well. And here comes Desolator Airstrike. Crusher Crane will be useful in order to prevent Desolator Airstrikes or recover the damage from it. Twin Blade does find a bit of damage there, very nice. And going for these repairs is expensive. And here comes Satellites, cancels whatever was being built there, sells off the structure, and he may need to sell off the Crusher Crane. The Crusher Crane will be splashed by it. I guess he really did not need to do that, or sell it off. Goes for another airfield right there. He could crush his MCV for meet a cash bounty, but he is using the Crusher Crane for repairs for his MCV as well, which actually is quite important. He'll save some money there, and every credit counts at this point in time. If we switch over to these players, we got Bankrupt and Bankrupt. He does have cash bounty ready right here. And Machetta's going for his own magnetic singularity. You have the squadron of Twin Blades here. Got another ore refinery, increases income. He's almost at 1 refinery income. Now do we have some satellites being called on there? Or no, he just called in satellites, so... Desolator Strike by Magenta. Okay. Another magnetic singularity coming forward. It does manage to snipe one of those ore collectors, and now even focus on the super reactor. Finding opportunity to take it out would be quite good. Does sell it off. Does not get detonation there. The Twin Blades may have been a bit too close for that as well. Does fall back away. Very nice. He used magnetic singularity just simply to distract and has a zone out effect, which is actually very good. Well played by Yellow. Yellow also has expanded out, has 1 refinery income, has doubled the income of his opponent. So the long game, Yellow will win out, and he's been doing much better with his maneuvers as well. Is Magenta low on power? Magenta is low on power, but he doesn't really need
Twin Blade inspection complete.
Doesn't really need to worry about getting the high power. There's nothing. His power, his income, his build rate's already pretty slow from lack of income. It's slower than the lack of power, so. Desolator Strike getting some good damage in there. Very good damage there. He is still not yet reacted to it just yet. Magenta's Twin Blades get ripped apart there by Yellow's bullfrogs. Now here comes Magenta's magnetic singularity. He even grabs the Terror drone right there. Magenta does not have a whole lot left, and Magenta has backed up the game. That was a very good game and came to a pretty slow end. This is Great saying thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. go with this one right here. Greetings everyone, and Grade here with another Red Alert 3 replay. Spawn on the north side as the Blue Empire. We have Bashley. Spawn on the right side as the Yellow Allies. We have Yuno. We do have some instant generator going down. Dojo, into probably another dojo, into probably into a third dojo, into his ore refineries. Walls going down as well. And there's refinery cores. Barracks have been deployed on now, or should I say boot camp. Doggy trying to run on forward, trying to eat some engineers. Instant Dojo's being pulling out something. Very, very likely it's going to be an engineer. Imperial War is going to try to for a bonsai charge. We'll get inside the garrison, get some damage there on the dog, and does gun down the dog. We've got a single laser block javelin pushes way forward. Does turn off the laser block there now. And the burst drone is being oh so problematic. Just tying on top, getting on top of these ore collectors, slowing them down, just being so annoying. Imperial Warriors are trying to gun down the oil derrick. And the burst drone does actually suicide there. Oil derrick receiving quite a bit of fire there. It's a good number of Imperial Warriors. Looks like 6. And the 7th one does show on up. Imperial Warriors, not Imperial Warriors, Peacekeepers do have numerical advantage, could push on forward. The oil derrick will not be saved there. Both these guys does get somersaulted around, and he misses the bombs because he got stuck by the Dojo Corps. So Dojo Corps saved the Imperial Warriors. Dogs pushing way forward, trying to spot some stuff. He will spot the Jet Tengus, or Mega Tengus. Apollo does come on out, does spot the Jet Tengus, and will be backing away, getting some much needed repairs. Vehicles aren't being repaired up. The Dojo cores are still alive, which can be useful for crushes, soaking fire, and all of that sort. And now we've got the Apollos now receiving quite a bit of fire right there. This Apollo does go down. Doesn't have honorable discharge. Did he go for a line that's not honorable discharge? We got the MCV making its way forward. It does take out another burst drone right there. Vindicator's pushing the way forward, eyeing for another bomb and run. Maybe onto the Dojo's cores, maybe onto the Imperial Warriors. Eyeing to crush the Dojo cores with the MCV. Almost gets the crush right there. Jet Mega Tengus are gunning down a lot of these Peacekeepers there, and now it goes for a massive bonsai charge there. And he can't use the shields because the Dojo cores will come up and crush them. Goes for a bombing run there, take out some of the Mega Tengus, gets crushes all across all the Peacekeepers, and all the Peacekeepers are down. Great engagements there by the Empire player. More bombing runs coming forward, takes out another Mega Tengu. The Allied MCV has packed on up, trying to push its way forward. Does get a turret deployed now, get a kill there on one of the Mega Tengus. More bombing runs coming on in on top of the Imperial Warriors, sort of whittling them away. Needs something to take out this multi-gun turret as the Imperial Warriors are still gunning down the MCV. Deploys and sells off one of the dojos, probably going to do that for the other as well. And also missing another Imperial Warrior. That one does get the dojo receive the bombs there, not the Imperial Warrior. Another multi-gun turret has one out. One Jet Tengus do go down. Multi-gun turret has deployed. And now the Empire MCV has packed on up and receives repairs from the instant Mega Bag core. The wall segment does go down as another multi-gun turret is being deployed now. So wall segment's being cleaned on up by the back line of the multi-gun turret, but that one does receive a bit of splash fire there. He's building them right there to send missiles into a friendly into the multi-gun turret, dealing friendly fire damage. It's starting to repair it up now. It's also one of the multi-gun turrets has lost power. It needs a bit more power there, as there's more and more multi-gun turrets being deployed up by yellow. It's forced to abandon this location. Both players are at 2 refinery income. And some of these wall segments now starting to go unbound. Attacking up the MCV does put him in low power state, but taking out the airfield does put him back in the power state. And now the yellow's construction yard, maybe Iron Core expanding to this location. Does have some defenses there. Jet tankers could start harassing the refinery line, but there is some javelin troops there. Apollo's starting to engage to take out one of the jet tankers as they're being pursued to the high ground. One Apollos do go down. Apollos are going down. Multiple Apollos are going down. This one does recover, and he is out of air slots now. He does manage to save this Apollo, and does apparently fire while landing. Jet tankers flying about. As the Imperial Warrior starts getting some shots onto the airbase. Does win a low power state there, sells off one of the multi-gun turrets there, gets an Apollo. That was not a refinery, maybe something was cancelled there. They have however going for another refinery, this time the naval expansion. And jet tankers casing Apollos, does get one of the Apollos right there. Now the jet tankers do go down as the Apollo is being pursued, but does go into a multi-gun turret, does take one of them out. And there's another Apollo out in the field, but this time he's a little bit outnumbered, trying to disrupt the fire there of the Apollos there as well. Did a good job with that, but still outnumbered. He may need to deploy out a Defender Corps. There we go, starts shooting some transform micro there. Does dodge fire there. Trying to get some damage there, and does. Ooh, he actually had both of them selected and pushed that one to range of the turret. Over here, we got the Imperial Warriors advancing. Not sure where they came from. And that the airbase now under siege by the Imperial Warrior. Now Apollo or Vindicator does go down there. Now he has some Chopper or Striker VXs, which is what he needs to sort of stay back in the line. Vindicators are falling back, or nope, bombing some of the Imperial Warriors. Getting some hits there, getting Veterancy. Cryocopter will go ahead and freeze that Imperial Warrior. Goes a single bomb there, shattering him as well. Leaving more hunks of flesh there than there was flesh. Suddenly I realized, well, I've got to turn off my heater, so you may hear some background noise. Good hits there onto the Apollos, forcing the fall back. Vindicator's charging way forward. Does put bombs, does take out one of the Striker VXs. Cryocopter does receive some fire there, but both of those Striker VXs do fall back. They have some walls deployed out by Cyan. Yellow has expanded out over here. Recent expand as well. That was his first load. This has been around for 2000. do have the armor facility, perhaps eyeing for, he does have Vet 2, so he can roll out some Guardian tanks. He may be eyeing for max clearance at this point in time to get out some Athenas. Good hits there on the Striker VXs, decent damage there. Pure Warriors trying to make their way forward. We've also got some Mecha Tengus here. Single IFV has pointed out. There's no max clearance just yet.
I'll need assistance.
Does take out one of those Mecha Tengus there. Guardian tank deployed on out. Guardian tank would be a good item for this engagement. Second Guardian tank deployed now. Good items at this moment in time. Does take out the Apollo there and does have to transform his army away and goes down the low ground. Power plant now in siege. She's forced her on the ground with a cryocopter. Not sure why. Does get that. If you were frozen, shatters him. It does save the power plant there. Does have some wall segments there. We've got a number of tank busters here. Good against opponent's card first, but he does have multi-gunner turrets and multi-gunner IFVs, so he can load a Peacekeeper on them and annihilate the infantry. Good number of Guardian tanks deployed on out. But there's even a better amount of tank busters here, and they are very good for infantry. And with a handful of Tsunami tanks on the front line, he should be able to draw fire enough away to prevent them being the tank busters from being crushed. We got the air forces here, or mixed transforming force there. We got the painting laser there deployed out by the Guardian tank, and engage some forces. And over here, Javelin troop surrounded by wall segments. Interesting. Does find an angle there. Can't really transform with his Striker VXs because they will get shot up a bit. Bo's just going to just go ahead and get the gamble there. It does go ahead and break the wall strength there. Rao trying to kill the Javelin troop in order so the Mecha Tengus does get the. Ooh, there was a Cryo Blast, a Cryo Get in there. That cracked the front line. We got the Honorable Discharge here. So this is a massive loss. And this thing's still chilled. It does get taken out there. He was so focused on the right flank, so was I. And this entire force got cleaned up in not but an instant. Over here, we got the wall segments being cleaned up, allowing the jet tangos breaking through. Bit of a base trade. Cyan has backed out to the sea. He does, of course, have this one refinery at sea, but there is a cryocopter. Instant generator being deployed out. He's going for this refining location as well. He may need to get Defender Core. And does lose that core collector there. This will be frozen. No airfield to finish it off at the moment. And this area will be cleaned up as well. The Striker VXs need to take out those refineries. So overall, the Cyan Empire player will have more income. Jet Tangos flying about. Big base trade in end result. But overall, looks like the Allied player has more infrastructure, that's for sure. But the Empire has more opportunity since his opponent is landlocked. Airfield being deployed now, probably going for more cryocopters and Vindicators. Maybe some escort Apollos as well. Riptides, however, are not enough to go out to sea to clean out the frozen structures because there's too many Mecha Tengus on the field. Guard tanks, however, getting some great hits there. Maybe a good idea to transform. more generators being deployed now. It does have a single ore collector there. Useful for replacement. This may be tier 2 being researched based on the pace of its going and needs a bit more income as well, so it's expensive what he's deploying out. And out here we have a single Riptide pushes the way forward, but can easily be closed on by these Mechatengus. Apollos do find the Chopper VXs, but they of course transform to get away. But now they're going to have to back off to the edge of the water because they can't be pushed out to sea, and they can't swim. Nanotech mainframe. He's going for Yamatos. Or no, not Yamato. Shogun battleships. Sorry, Yamato's an actual name of a battleship. Could be going for Sea Wings. Wait, I meant that as a joke. He is actually going for Sea Wings for anti-air to support his forces. That was just me just saying something random and actually was correct. He's expanding out this refining location. He has a cryogen being put on the docks. Multiple poles going on down. He does freeze the dockyard. Doesn't have anything to finish off. Single bit of character going forward. That may have been just a tier 2. That was just a tier 2 docks, not a tier 3 one. Because I'm pretty sure he only saw Sea Wings being put out. So he had to sacrifice all of the Allied Air Force just to get tier 2 docks. It hurts, but it probably hurt the Allied player a little bit more. And now the Empire player can get the air superiority. Again, the Sea Wings can come on forward and start gunning down some infantry. There's a number of multi-gunner IFVs. MCV's coming for our turret push. You may need to get out some Riptides to help support a turret push. Something just so 5 turrets in time to be set on up. And now we've got the ore collector assaulting the refinery, along with a heroic Mechatengu. Docks are being upgraded. Multi-gun turret has been deployed now. Maybe a Naginata cruiser could be very useful at this moment in time. Yari mini sub being deployed now. You need to throw some torpedoes and then needs to do a suicide bomb. There you go. He knows the exact amount. At this point in time, a single Naginata cruise is all he needs to keep this area secure from turret pushes. He is taking out, he is trying to repair the Imperial docks as well. It will take a bit of time. Another turret will likely come out, but this time he does have a Yari mini sub ready to engage. Getting some of the kills on the Peacekeeper as well. This refinery location has been sold off or destroyed. He has 2 reactive power generators right there. And does have another turret queued on up. He needs some sea forces to support his multi-gun turrets. Because now there's 2 Yari mini subs here. And their last voyages are nothing to scoff against. You have a ore collector advancing, getting some damage there onto the ore collector on the prospector. And the ore collector will go ahead and back out to sea. He some great damage there onto the ore collector or prospector and does clean it off quite quickly. This one does get left behind a little bit. And the point defense drone does absorb most of the shots. Looks like he needs more than 2 Yari mini subs to... Oh, that docks was frozen once again by a Cryogenin. Does clean up there with a multi-gun turret. He does have another docks back here, something more secluded and a bit harder to spot. Jet Tango's still flying about. This refinery is still going at it. These refineries are almost depleted as well. Looks like the Peacekeepers have pulled up their shields there. Trying to pick off some of the Peacekeepers. Apollos are now flying about. He can escape out to the sea with his Mecha Tengus. Does actually fly away and receives a lot of fire right there. The Heroic one even goes down as well. He does have a Sea Wing. That single Sea Wing could be useful. He does go ahead and start firing some missiles to the ore refinery from the high ground. At this point in time, I don't think there's any way to save it. He could deploy out a Defender Corps, but here comes a Shogun battleship. That will save it. Fires a barrage there onto the Guardian tanks there. He needs to focus down that Heroic Multi-Gunner IFE. He does have a single Sea Wing here, and now he's going to siege down his opponent's ore refinery before a saving zone. Does take a bit of time for that to be cleaned on up. If he's able to rotate the Shogun battleship around, it will get the second set of guns firing. But right now, he's not really doing a good job of firing the refinery either. He needs to micro his Shogun battleship a little bit better. Second Shogun battleship has blown out. Their refinery is almost down. Fires are falling up the high ground. About ready to lose his refinery. And the Heroic IFE does force, and actually does kill it off there. His horrible micro there lost him the refinery. Does have a shrunken Shogun battleship now. The Jet Tangus needs to be in defensive formation to protect his Shogun battleships. He does have some Sea Wings for anti-air as well. He's got another refinery there. Maybe not a good idea to deploy out anything more. Some great damage there. Guardian tanks are out of range. And gave some good damage there onto the Guardian tanks, picking off two of them. Refinery's down. Guardian tanks are going down. Another guy, Cryo, get it there onto the infrastructure once again. It may not get the docks core this time. It's on the outer edge. It does not. Only its generator. He got too greedy right there. Now here comes the Sea Wings. Gains some great damage there onto the Vindicator. Takes up the Vindicator there. Now the Apollos are next. Takes out Apollo as well. Doesn't even get the instant generator. So he lost quite a bit right there. Looks like Blue's saving a bit of money. Perhaps eyeing to hold up his money until he gets out enough for a refinery core. Just going for a now reflector there, getting multiple crushes there. 4, 5, 6. Or just 5. 5 is a good number. And there's number 6. Impose a point defense drone. Holy Heroic Guardian tank will get the kill there. Sea Wings try to protect the Shogun battleships. Both of them are alive. And one's elite, one's veteran. And even one the twin Sea Wings is a veteran as well. That's that fully heroic Shogun battleship now. Now it's starting to take out some of the power generators as well. Well, the Sea Wings could actually go out of the water, fly about to spot some of the infrastructure. Shows off this refinery there. Does have a number of defensive Sea Wings as well, so he is building more and more Sea Wings. Now we've got a Jet Tengu spotting for the Shogun battleships. Prospector Command Hub does go down. And does shoot both the Shogun battleships, which makes it pretty easy to rotate around the next firing location for him. Keeps with the Sea Wings quite nicely. Sea Wings do fire a little bit of barrage there, gave some good damage there onto the Apollo. So we've got another Shogun battleship here. Looks like it's not eyeing to expand out again, just relying on one economy refinery. His opponent has one refinery as well, but is in range or striking range of Shogun battleships. Actually, there is actually a refinery up north. When did that get there? Let's shrink the Shogun battleships once again. I don't think he spotted this region as well. He may not be aware that's been reset up. Another crowd again, trying to get that Imperial docks. Will get freeze on multiple structures here. All three of those structures are frozen, but there's no. Here comes the Vindicator. 1, 2. Only gets 2 of them there, trying to save that Vindicator. He does have a good number of Sea Wings as well. If he gets enough Sea Wings, he's able to use them like twin blades, or yeah, basically use them as twin blades. Or chopper VXs. So let's take out the Guardian tank there. Yellow has built up his refineries once again. These have 10,000, 8,000 ore left. These both down to last scraps. It looks like this ore refinery will get frozen down. It's unescorted. Surgical Strike finishes it off. Surgical Strike is a relatively rare item to see, but in this case, I think he got him for it because he can't afford Vindicators. He needs them to go strike out at sea as well. Mass Riptide? Maybe some Dolphins? Hydrofoils? Trying to take out some of these Peacekeepers as well. Trying to save this Mecha Bay Core. Or trying to get one out, not necessarily save it. A single Jet Tengu, not enough, and this Mecha Bay Core will likely get frozen down, but he does actually force back the Crowdcopters, buying some time there. And it does get frozen there. Vindicator still has at least 1 bomb remaining. Defender Corps, it may have been a better idea to get that deployed out sooner rather than later. We do have now another ore refinery here. Some Sea Wings over here as well. Oh, there goes that wall segment being spotted by the Jet Tengu. Wall segments will quickly go down to the Shogun battleships. Got heroic, elite, and veteran Shogun battleship. Got also naval seaport here, and now trying to freeze down the construction yard. And there's no defense here. Here comes the Sea Wings there. Single Jet Tango here, and now the Sea Wings should be able to stay at the con yard no problem. Does use a crowd again here. I don't think it's enough. That could actually be enough to freeze the con yard. Does get the Mecha Tengu and Jet, and the does get the bomb over there. Takes the Crowd construction yard. He still has the Naval Imperial Docks Core, as well as the Nanotech mainframe. Circle Strike does come forward, but he will lose Crowdcopters to the Sea Wings. He does freeze the Defender Core VX in time. He does, of course, have also a Mecha Bay Core, so the Imperial player has a lot of infrastructure to work with without a construction yard. And Yellow has backed out of the game. This is Anagram saying thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. Greetings everyone, and Grade here for another Relic 3 replay. Spawn on the top right side as the yellow Soviet player. We have Give Me a Good 1v1. Spawn on the left side as the orange allies who selected as random. We have Sailor Moon MMT. I can mute him. Not sure that means anything. I just realized that you can mute and unmute even a replay. A lot of good that does. Bear will start making his way forward. I need to claim some ground. We do have the engineer. Some dogs are deployed on out. It's a dog eat bear world or a bear eat dog world. The only way it could be a dog eat dog world if the boot camp gets captured up. The only way it could be a bear eat bear world, a bear needs to be captured, or spies. Does eat the bear with a dog. And it looks like the oil deck has been cleaned by the Soviet player. Dog does get gunned down there, but did take out the bear in return. Overall good trades there by the allied player. Conscript's making his way forward, trying to engage his opponent. Okay, that's sickle jump. It was not dodging bombs, not dodging stuff. I'm not sure what that sickle jump was about. Nice bomb splits there, split between the conscript and onto the sickle. Does get out of the garrison mostly. Garrison does get fully decrewed, jumps on the other two peacekeepers, along to gun down those ones, and able to gun down the rest of the peacekeepers, and will claim the garrison for his own purpose. Sickle does do a nice jump there, but may receive a bomb at least. I think one bomb connect. And now here comes the next bomb run, and takes off that sickle. More bomb runs there, takes good bombs from there, takes the exposed conscript. Got a ore refinery being deployed on the front line. No battle bunker here for defending the front line. Down south, we do have a Terradrome. This region is fully walled, so is this region. However, this cannot be walled. We do gotta sell off whatever structure that was. That may be a rival reactor. Super reactor is still up and going, which will buy enough power for a long time. Terradrome just uses snare since the seaport has been deployed out. If he gets the infect, it will immediately be cleaned off. We got the tack dog being deployed on out, spotting, scouting. Bullfrogs can get out of their vehicle and pet him. He's a good boy. Oil deck does receive a massive bombing run there, almost goes down there. They got the Terradrome now backing away from the Riptides. The civilian structure is claimed. MCV has been packed on up. You got the oil derrick now being fully destroyed. And looks like he's going down the low ground. Maybe it's time to get out a naval refinery down here and perhaps deploy out some defenses as well. Though if I remember correctly, you can't actually deploy defenses going down the slope anymore. Maybe that was just with allies. Yep, seaport now being deployed on down. Got some missiles, twin blades deployed on now as well. Bullfrogs here to support the twin blades. Vindicator bomb run coming forward. Now only one bomb was dropped there. Twin Blades trying to clean up these Riptides. And we got a Terror Drone infect on one of those Riptides. There may not be enough room for a refinery. It's getting pretty close. Riptide has been cleaned on up. Looks like the Twin Blades are still cleaning up the rest of them. Another Seaport Naval Yard being deployed on now, and does take out the last Riptide. And we got a Hydrofoil here. And does clean up the Hydrofoil. Vindicator's coming forward. One Vindicator does go down, one Bullfrog goes down. You got this Hydrofoil being snared by the Terror Drone, and now do perhaps a basic satellites. Level 1 satellites now dropping on in. We'll clean up the Hydrofoil, no problem. Nice little pick there. Dolphin does come forward, immediately screams at that Terror Drone to kill it. Now we've got an ore refinery deployed out on the sea. We may see some Stingrays, we may see some Dreadnoughts. The land is, however, very exposed to the Soviet player. We could potentially see some Peacekeepers advance to annoy his opponent with some javelin support. Looks like the Dolphin does go down to the Stingrays. Multiple Stingrays being deployed out, trying to engage the harassing naval forces of his opponent. We may see a single Kulu sub engage these forces over here. Fresh Dolphin is here as well. And a third Stingray. We may see a full naval assault with Stingrays. A relatively rare thing to see. Good damage onto those Vindicators, but not enough to take them out. Does fry one of the Dolphins there. 4 Stingrays now deployed now. That is a massive number of Stingrays. You will not be able to stop all those Stingrays. Not sure what that was about. And we'll find these Hydrofoils there, both jammed the same Stingray there. Dolphins will manage to keep them forward, but they don't really have high damage. They're just cheap and mobile, like the Yari mini subs. Does take out one of the Hydrofoils there, still trying to pursue the Dolphins. Over here we got the Cryocopters engaging Bullfrogs. Twin Blades getting gunned down there by the Apollos. Bullfrogs going on down. Got Cryo Blast, basic Cryo Blast there. Now when the Cryocopters being gunned down as well by the Bullfrogs. That one will stay alive. Dolphin does not get killed off there by the Stingray. I think his shot may have missed. Meg trying to rule the sky, but failing. Dolphins down south. Bullfrogs are getting bombed by the Vindicators. One of the Vindicators do also go down as well. And yeah, the Dolphins are a bit more durable than last time I remembered. Does get some nice little freeze there. Briefly freezing one, still chilled. Hydrofoil deployed on out. Migs seeing quite a bit of fire there from the Hydrofoil. Trying to get these Cryocopters getting some good damage there. One of them would like to go down. Migs now engaged as well. And Migs do go down. The wounded one does manage to skip on there, but the fresh one will go down as well. Bullfrog still engaging, trying to engage the force. Will be cleared by the Javelin troops. Seaport does go down. May do a mass shock there, try to destroy this infrastructure. And the Cryocopter does get the freeze there on the Bullfrog. Trying to go for some more freezes there as well. Does get a bomb there, trying to go for another freeze on the Elite Stingray. Now, and there's still one heroic Stingray as well. Bullfrog's push on forward, does get like the protocol right there. It does get the kill there onto that Bullfrog. Cryocopters try and get some more freezes there. So a pair of bullfrogs, which can be quickly shrunk down or frozen.
They are not so friendly.
No, he does actually get freeze there on the fresh bullfrog there. If you target Sparkly, maybe we'll get some multi-kills there. We've got multiple frozen objects here. No bullfrogs remain. Going for a flak tower, trying to keep this stuff alive. He has so much trouble with all these cryocopters. Cryocopters are just very, very durable. Black Tower has pointed out, the Navy Dockyard is still frozen. But he does still have the repair ability if he needs to repair some of these truck units. Now we got some Stingrays making a naval advance. Triple shrink there, leaving these Stingrays too exposed, now freezing down the bullfrogs. And shrinks down that Stingray. And that's actually doing great work against the shrunken infantry. So still one-shots infantry while shrunken down, which actually is a bit more deadly. Bullfrog does get frozen down there, does not get the infect there, and all that stuff gets cleaned up by the cryocopters. Ugh. Those cryocopters are so nasty. Heroic Riptide now makes way forward, doesn't need to worry about a Vindicator anymore. And sells that off before it gets the kill. Maybe you should have put that in aggressive stance, so just continuously firing, waiting for the freeze. The machine gun could have instantly killed it. Trying to save the crusher crane, cancel the reactor. Maybe could I just sell off all the infrastructure there? I'm not sure if it's worth fighting for. MCV is advancing, trying to capture this point here, and does a mass sell off now. Paradrone will fall on back. Now the Apollo's making their way forward, does receive some fire there. The number of Guardian tanks advancing with a support of a single multi-gunner IFV. These bullfrogs will not be able to deal with anything right there. And his refining location could go down. He does have a single flak tower here, and probably a conscript or two inside this garrison. Yep, appears to be two, or just the one conscript actually. Satellites, not sure what level they are. All at level 2. We got some Terra drones and Tesla troopers here. The refinery will go down. And here comes the Vent 3 satellite, level 3 satellite, and it does nothing. Bullfrogs charging forward, getting some good damage there on the cryocopters. Trooper trying to make forward, does get the snare of one of the Guardian tanks there, and Terradrone will snare the other shrunken Guardian tank. Both of them do go down. Also, the Soviet players are going to rely on a heavy armor push, rely on heavy infantry and the hammer tanks, along with some bullfrog support. But right now, the shrink's just been on point, and he has nothing been able to stop those cryocopters. Because when there's 4 cryocopters, he needs more than just 4 bullfrogs. Because shrink down reduces the damage output to a negligible amount, and could just freeze everything then. Yes, he got that Riptide. We have a bullfrog getting caught up in the low ground. We got some fortress walls now being deployed on out and being cleaned up instantaneously. So the player needs a massive win of engagement to get back to the game, because right now he's in the back foot this entire game. This refinery is still collecting. So it's 3 refinery income to 3 refinery income. Does get some snares there. Got a good number of hammer tanks there, as well as stealth troopers, but there's peacekeepers mixed in as well. The bears haven't been able to charge forward with roars. One of the bears do roar in the back line, which is a bit worthless. Does claim a number of guardian tanks right there. Some extra guns will help out the hammer tanks. He has 2 extra guns. Bullfrogs may need an eye for using shots from low ground, but even then that'll reduce their range significantly. The right there is not half bad, because it doesn't take too long for them to get back over here. He's painting the terror drone that's currently snaring him.
Out of here on a double.
Ah, that Tesla trooper. That windup is so bad, it's hard for him to just even hit something that's walking around. Ooh, mass freeze right there. He's trying to body block everything. He's trying to save his ore collector. Does say the wall segment prevents him, though it's being shattered. He could cancel this reactor there, though having extra power would never hurt. And there's the ore collector recovered from the freeze. Looks like that conscript gets gunned down in midair. And you got some more wall segments being deployed on up. Yellow's just trying to hold the line, trying to get a massive force. Maybe Iron Curtain could be useful in order to help have it push the front line. Athena Cannon gets some great shots there onto the MCV. MCV's backing away. More and more wall segments are here. It doesn't have any, it needs to crush, no Assault Destroyers to crush the wall segments. They have to gun them down the old-fashioned way, which is slow. Still just only 4 bullfrags. It's still not enough, really. D4, light up a missile shot. May be able to get a good hit in. Does not. Tricopters do receive some fire there. D4 rockets now raining on in, trying to hit that Athena cannon. Oh, looks like they are high explosives. They're spread, but does get the Athena cannon there. Getting some good hits in. Got some number of infantry here. Effective versus infantry and vehicles, but some of them are a bit wounded. Up here, we do got the Apollo's not flying about. Does get a nice snare there on the Riptide. He is going for a Tesla Coil as well. And some Tesla Coil. He needs a flak tower, really. And now we've got Natasha out on the field. Up north, we do have a bear receiving aircraft carrier shot. Natasha's going to try to snipe it. Dolphins push his way forward. We do see a cool sub here. And Ultra Torpedoes do fire, misses the... Oh! And gets direct hit there on the aircraft carrier. You believe that was a miss, but it was actually hit. It was not aimed for the Dolphin, it was aimed for the aircraft carrier. Too bad we didn't hear the sound of torpedo hitting Dolphin. The aircraft carrier is getting repaired up by the naval dockyard. As the two Kula subs make their advance, there is one hydrofoil here. All torpedoes do connect, and a oh, that calculated. That wasn't a miss. It was clearly a direct hit on the hydrofoil. That was his target all along. Yeah, that was a bit of an oversight there. Does get a kill there on the Riptide. He was actually in the Riptide, and the black hole armor was not used for protecting it. Aircraft carrier is getting another sortie in. Has a flak tower there. None of the aircraft does get shot down. Natasha's going for a snipe, and does get a snipe there on the aircraft carrier. Natasha does get frozen, so does one of the bullfrogs. Natasha will get gunned down there. Had a cash bounty on top of her as well. 4 Kula subs are advancing, and the Riptide, the Assault Destroyers can, of course, fire against the underwater targets. Does get a kill on that bullfrog there with the Riptide. Assault Destroyer is simply shoot down. He doesn't have anything to protect this Dreadnought. He could take time to get the Assault Destroyers engaged with his Akulas. Bullfrogs push the way forward once again, gets a bit damage in. One of the Kula subs does go down. Another Assault Destroyer goes down. Cryocopters finally getting gunned down as well. Trying to shrink them down, trying to destroy them. With the shrunken Cryocopters able to kill them off quite quickly with the Assault Destroyer. Assault Destroyer doesn't receive an infect there and did not have enough Bullfrogs. And the Terror Drone does eat the Dolphin. Gets some good torpedo hits there, takes out all the Assault Destroyers there. Dolphin does go down as well. Does not freeze that Kula sub. Does escape on out of there. And apparently, I think he attacked the aircraft carrier, but apparently it cannot be a neutral unit like that cannot be infected. Prism Tower has fallen out, getting some good hits there onto the Kula sub. And good torpedo hits there onto the Spectrum Tower. Good hits there onto the command post of the satellites. And does get Ultra Torpedo there onto the Hydrofoil. Hydrofoils and the Riptides do, of course, have torpedoes. And does not get the kill there on that elite Akula sub. Is able to get one more kill there, going fully heroic, will of course give him some much needed health regen. Cash bounty on there, cheap cash bounty, but cash is cash. And a single Dolphin, heroic Dolphin, takes out a generator as well as the, looks like the ore collector, but Natasha does get a point blank sniper shot into the Dolphin's face. Apparently screaming at Natasha doesn't exactly kill her all too well. Kula subs making their advance. Got 2 elite Kula subs. Iron Curtain's now ready to be deployed. Has a good number of V4s as hammer tanks. So it does have some forces to run down his opponent. 4 Apollos in the air. Looks like no Vindicators. Ultra Torpedoes do roll a miss there. And now we do have a seaport deploy out sea, and that is, of course, Tier 3, thanks nearby aircraft carrier. We do also have a defense bureau, which we saw the Spectrum Towers for. So we may see some other assets, maybe a Proton Collider? Massive force here. Navy's going for one big Iron Curtain push. You can, of course, use Iron Curtain on the naval forces as well. Dolphin here. And Dolphin does take up the elite Akula, getting him fully heroic. The Dolphins also kills off a bear. Poor sea bears. the dolphin clearly had a circle around him. Prevented the bear to take him out. Ultra torpedoes? Is that a... Oh. Worth a shot. Cool Sub does go and get underwater in time. The ore collectors receive a bit of fire there. Cool Subs are not engaging the dolphin, but we do have Natasha pushing forward, but there's too many cryocopters. There is 6 bullfrogs, maybe enough to sway the cryocopters, but honestly I put more faith in the cryocopters at this point. Apollo's received quite a bit of fire there. We've got Cryogeddon. Successful, which should be enough to allow the rest of these kills off the dolphin there with the Iron Curtain there, and gets the cover of the Iron Curtain there with the 2 shrunken bullfrogs. Trying to pursue him now. They don't have a whole lot of damage output with the shrunken state. So that was a very, very good play there. But now he's able to push up his ground army, knowing the Iron Curtain's now expended, and plus the infantry here doesn't have to worry about the instant kill of the Iron Curtain. People think Chronosphere is probably the worst at that, or the best at it, worst at it, how you want to view it. Is that magnetic singularity? Oh, no, that's Layer Strike. Gets 2 of the models there. If that was magnetic singularity, that would have been deadly. A lot of hammer tanks there, but they're getting shrunk a bit. He does have the V4's single Athena cannon here, which could protect. Cluster rounds are likely coming on in. I don't think those high explosives, I don't think those are point targets. Actually, a mix of both. Going back into the Desolator Strike is not a good idea. Getting some free damage in. Even if the numbers of the hammer tanks there, who all have them shrunk as well. More of the hammer tanks are constantly being shrunk. And Natasha going for a snipe. No, going for a designated target there. Natasha will get overran. Trying to go some freeze there on the hammer tanks. We've got the V4 rockets raining on in. Guardian tanks all wounded, but still pushing forward. Conscripts get cleaned up by the Peacekeepers there. V4s are just back away. Crushes the V4s because he's going to lose them either way. Which got him a good amount of cash rebate right there. Bullfrogs are good, but he needs something to engage these forces. They're all wounded, but nothing's left. Got some hammer... Oh, no, there's the hammer tanks there. Going for the regular guns. Just give him a gun. Satellites being brought in. I think he does have tier 3 satellites, so he can't propose to go back to the shrunken hammer tanks. It just completely neuters them. But the hammer tanks, the guardian tanks have been slowly whittled away to be killed on off. The satellite did crash there. And guess the last of the guardian tanks does get cleaned on up. Mass Peacekeepers with Javelin troops in the mix. Still has not been able to deal any damage to those cryocopters. The super reactor will be frozen, which is a great way to cool it off. Number crusher there, but it does get overwhelmed there. It does detonate there, killing off all that force. Airfield goes down. Barracks about ready to go down as well. Bears trying to charge forward. Does get no roar there. Could have got a roar off. Twin Blade does go down as well. Cool Sub's pushing way forward, but there's no Dreadnought. So players all low in power because he lost the super reactor. Peacekeeper does fire some shots off there. He could potentially clean up the wall segments now. Or maybe not. He's having trouble cleaning up the wall segments. Does splash down the refinery there with the Peacekeeper shotguns. Now here comes the Kulu subs engaging the naval yard, which will clean it up, no problem. Some player still has a C, but he's lost all the ground forces. Stingray has been run out, which will do some good damage across these forces. And does Iron Curtain and the rest of those infantry taking them out? Even though it may have been a good idea to save it for his bullfrogs, because look, they're all shrunken and now they're completely neutered. Instantly getting frozen. And here comes a time bomb. Can time bombs affect aircraft? It does back away in time, so you can't find out. I honestly don't know if time bombs can affect air. I would assume yes. Thunder got crushed. Going for a flak cannon there, trying to get the super reactor as well. And now the Dolphins here to clean up the bullfrogs. And there goes super reactor, putting the flak cannon at low power. It does kill off the super reactor there, boosts the Dolphin in return, but that's basically game. Cryocopters, one of them finally goes down. And does lose another cryocopter there as well. And the last of his bullfrogs are frozen. He has the naval yard. He has Hakulo subs. And a Stingray. He has the Sea-Force, but no income at the moment. He still has the Battle Lab. He needs to sell off the... He needs to sell off the Battle Lab. It's worthless at this point in time. He's only going for a Dreadnought. Crushing is a cool subs, which he does need to do. He's keeping the Heroic one around just to patrol the waters. Something off his flak cannon could be quite useful as well. This one could stay around, or mine is out, depleted. Both of those depleted. Yep, he's placing the water with the Heroic Cool Sub, getting some good damage in. He could use the Ultra Torpedoes as well. He needs to get below the water line, but gets frozen before it can run away. And there goes his Cooler Sub. He still has a Stingray and a good number of bullfrogs. Does shrink the Stingray as well, and now the Dolphin can just make short work of these bullfrogs. At this point in time, he needs another Stingray. He does get another Stingray, which still poses a threat to the Stingray because the heroic state makes it very resilient. Does Patch trying to go for the discharge there. Gains some good damage in, but does not go for discharge. Discharge has pretty short range. It's a shrunken Stingray. Now time for discharge. And he does clean up there. Does take up the Dolphin in return, but quite a bit of effort for that. And here comes the satellites onto the naval dockyard. The seaport will go down to the Vet 3 or Tier 3 satellites. Here comes the International Space Station. Does sell off the Battle Lab there. Not sure what's destroyed there as well. Another super raft going down in the already placed walls. And here is the construction yard. He does have an ore collector here. Best crush it. Apparently the shield does prevent the Tesla kills. He's actually still low in power. That's why he's going for the super reactor. Crusher crane will be frozen. Does sell it off. Bullfrogs. There's not enough of them to deal with all those cryocopters. More wall segments being brought on up. And more wall segments being brought on up. Does get some damage there on those cryocopters. Nobody sent out an engineer to capture the aircraft carrier. Soviet player, it's pretty hard to get an engineer out there from either player. Another side player decides to fully destroy it. The Allied player probably had more time to actually secure the aircraft carrier and reclaim it. Ore collector now under siege by a single peacekeeper. Conscript Iron pushes his way forward, throws out some Molotovs onto him. And of course, since it's fully heroic, the Molotovs will take a long time to kill him off. This ore collector is still refining. It needs to be crushed. Assault destroyer is coming forward, trying to crush the walls. Will crush the walls. Freeze, and he does freeze the ore collector, no problem. And immediately gets the Terradrone surprise to clean up the assault destroyer. Gets the kill there. We do have the cryocopters flying about. Ore collector does get frozen there. The flak cannon is still alive, severely damaged, so the dolphin quickly clean up, as well as the ore collector. Looks like there is a naval yard trying to block. Ooh, Apollo's still alive. That sounds like magnetic singularity has been called on in. Trying to stop his opponent, but was unsuccessful. Oh yeah, he lost his Crusher Crane, so he doesn't have a Crusher Crane anymore. Time Bomb being put out. And that is Supreme Time Bomb. What does it say? Have a nice day? Yep, have a nice day. Colon, parentheses. Oh, I missed it. There it goes. All walled segments are down. Dolphin receiving some fire. Seaports supplying out some riptides, eyeing for some more light naval. And the ore collector has been retested this line here, so he will get some income, but still depleted. This ore refinery here is depleted. This one is depleted. Looks like all the refineries are depleted on this map. No, this one's actually still quite healthy. And this one has full load. This one still has, actually some was still withdrawn from it, because remember the Soviet player expanded that to that one first. For a second. Flak cannon under siege, almost going down. It's hard to see with the repair symbol on the way, but you can look in the bottom right if the chat window isn't there. And he will save the flak cannon there. Apollo still has some ammo. I'd have heard something before down here. But we've got a power plant now deployed here. And we've got a single cool sub trying to police the naval expansion. Conscript does get frozen there. Nothing in the region to clean up, but it's just a conscript. A very, very cold conscript. Maybe he should light himself a Molotov bottle to stay warm. We do have a conscript getting gunned down the air. What would it be like you get launched into the air by a ground transport and then gets sent into the eyes of a fighter pilot? I think it's going for some ultra torpedoes, but with this rural cryocopters there, ultra torpedoes will connect. He may get frozen. He does not get frozen time, so it looks like it takes 5 to get the freeze there, not 4. He does all the naval expansion there. Construction yard is here, so he does have 2 or 3 good damage there on the naval dockyard. He maybe eyes for some torpedoes, some hit and runs. Oh no, the Akula sub is just going to camp the expansion point there to deny access to it. Oof. Nasty. He needs to get out assault destroyers or riptides to displace it. Cash bounty on top of the javelins. He didn't get any kills there. Twin Blade does fall back time. And since the Twin Blades, or the Cryocopters does back off there a moment, he was able to get some shots there on the seaport. Twin Blades starting to engage the Prospector, trying to harass it. And here comes the Desolator airstrike onto the refinery point. Does receive quite a bit of fire right there, or not fire, but corrosion. Pyrocopters do get cleaned up a little bit by those bullfrogs there, as the aircraft carrier has been captured by the Soviet player. That is a big win for the Soviet player. If he gets out some bullfrogs for escort, now he can able to push his opponent off the map. Looks like this ore collector was cleaned on up. He does sell off the ore refinery. Aircraft carrier is very exposed right there. And the Apollos will have to waste their ammo to engage. Does shrink the aircraft carrier there, which does reduce the damage output of the aircraft carrier. Shrinking after the fact does, of course, reduce damage output, regardless of what it gets thrown out. Though, maybe the aircraft carrier doesn't do that, but I saw little damage coming out from it. I was thinking maybe it does keeps its damage because it has separate entities for the attack, the fighter craft, but that looks like not the case. We've got the Akula sub here, still being also annoying. And it's going to go ahead and back away. Riptide here, he may be eyeing some ultra torpedoes onto it. Stingrays and bullfrogs advancing from land as the aircraft carrier is advancing to sea, taking out single peacekeepers. Airfield will likely go down. And it looks like we do have magnetic singularity being called on in right there. Akula subs do clean up the Riptide there. Ultra torpedoes may be coming out. Nope, there's Riptide there. We have a Squadron MiG, so the Allied player is in really bad strait. And the Allied player has actually surrendered the game. I thought the Soviet player was going to lose the entire game because the Allied player got so many valuable engagements against it. It was actually absurd. Let's just take a look at the graphs. I don't usually do this, but so it's like the Soviet player maintained higher resources by a small margin the entire game. The Allied player does, of course, had a bit advantage with the free market to increase income, and the Soviet player had the advantage with the mass production, reduced production costs. So overall, the Soviet player had a little bit higher step than actually what's shown. Oh, look at that. The Soviet player had a huge unit value advantage the entire game, but it just kept on getting annihilated, his opponent kept on taking value engagements every single point of the game. The Soviet player had basically no value engagements the entire game. He just whittled away, and his opponent somehow couldn't secure a victory after all those value engagements. Yeah, that's more ore collected than his opponent with the free market upgrade. Either way, this is Anagrade saying thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. And I remember now I need to turn off my heater. So if you give me one moment, I'll be right back. There we go, I'm back. And that should help reduce the background noise once the fan turns off. And on to the next replay, which I believe it was this one here. And I'm in mood for casting 2v2, so let's do a 2v2. Greetings everyone, Anagrade here with another Red Alert 3 replay. So on my right side as the Scion Empire, we have Carrot. Spawning, which I'm not sure who's actually his teammate. Spawn as the Green Allies, we have AE-86. Spawn as the Yellow Soviets, we have Give Me Good 1v1. As this is not a 1v1, your name is not very good. And spawn on the north side as the Red Allied player, we have Dutch Army. The fact that the red dog is going down here, so it looks like it's cyan and red versus yellow and green. Red dog phases through the terrain to avoid the bear. It's a dog-eat-bear world, or bear-eat-dog world. Let's find out. Both sides trying to find a good angle for bark. Both of them wants to attack each other, and the bear gets a good roar there. And does get the kill there, so it's a bear eat dog world. Down south, we do have the burst drone getting cleaned up by the javelin troops, so it is a javelin eat dragonfly world. You got some peacekeeping side civilian structure. The dog gets gunned down there by the Imperial Warriors, and now trying to charge on in. Dojo does get cleaned on up. The garrison gets cleaned out, which is a good engagement, good trade for the Empire player, because Imperial Warriors are a little bit cheaper than peacekeepers. Looks like the bark bear dog gets a good bark off, stunning the conscripts, and he's going to go ahead and fully garrison up this garrison. So now, if he wants to clear it out, it's going to cost the ally player an arm and a leg. And we do, looks like, have a hospital captured up by Cyan. Not so sure where it's at. That's an oil derrick. But there's a hospital somewhere on the map. I'm not so sure where. That's an oil derrick. Here it is. A hospital there. So every player gets a hospital. So this map is designed for free-for-all, which can also always be used for 2v2 since it's equally designed. We got a multi-gun turret on the high ground, but having trouble with close range to hit the low ground. And now the ore derrick's now under siege. I don't know why those Vindicator bombs sounded like a Century bomber. I don't know why, it really does sound like a Century bomber to me right there. Multi-gun turret pushes his way forward. It gains some good damage there onto the instant dojo. Just using Imperial Warriors engaged. It's not like a good engagement there. Pink Busters inside the garrison with an Imperial Warrior to boot. 2 Imperial Warriors. And got some bomb runs coming from his teammate to save that garrison. He cannot slice up a multi-gun turret. This is not some sort of anime. This is Red Alert, not an anime. Who would think that who would think with swords slice up turrets? In this game, you use bears. No wait, no, those can't eat turrets either. Or transforming mechs. Those can take on turrets. Got some trades there into the garrison. Looks like Imperial Warriors went down. Don't think any tank busters went down right there. And the ore refiner finds a deadly bombing run there. He's going to the Mecha Bay in order to get some repairs, and much needed repairs. It's a little bit dangerous, but a follow-up bombing run could finish it off. We do have the yellow conscripts eyeing for some garrisons, just trying to claim it from their opposition. Rest pushing for his MCV. We do got another power plant here. He may be in low power state. Nope. And those lose some Apollos there as well to the multi-gunner turrets. Over here, we got some naval expansions, Imperial Docks, Refinery Corps, and perhaps the other Refinery Corps. And that garrison does get cleaned up, which is good engagements for the Empire player. Tesla Corps behind the wall, rampart. It's in the middle of a sea fortress, so it's really neither. Decorative design? Another Tesla Corps being deployed now. We've got a good number of bears and black troopers. Does clean up that multi-gunner turret. We got a war factory being deployed out by the Soviet players. Well, that's like just a line side blocker. This multi-gunner turret is firing some rounds onto the bears. There's over a lot of shots there. Apollo's receiving some fire there. Does save the Apollo there with his Tesla coil. And I think those pings there was on his teammate to fall them back. Chopper VX pushes his way forward. Does receive some conscript fire. Speaking of conscript fire, we got the Prospector receiving some conscript fire. Looks like the oil derrick has gone down. There's a good number of flak troopers, conscripts, and bears here. A single cryo blast. It's probably only a cryo shot at this point, but it could be a cryo blast at this point in time. With the amount of pressure here, the protocol's points are counting up quite quickly. Let's go ahead and get That does also prevent that garrison being blown up with peacekeepers, but he has manually target towards that motor-gun turret. He's going to lose a lot of infantry right there, but that's going to focus down quite quickly. Vindicator's putting him forward, bombs down the hammer tanks there. When the Vindicator does go down as well, Bear seeing some shots from the motor-gun turret from the high ground. Does not get the kill there onto the the peacekeeper there because does that shield up, but the Molotov does take it out. You also have the satellites coming onto the Bear Dojo core, which you have for the Bear as the MCV does get snared by the Paradrones there, but great crushes coming out by the tsunami tanks. This hammer tank does have a second gun now, which should make short work of the tsunami tank there. Maces and mag mines there, basically a crush by there, and does not get a crush there. A couple leech beams does come forward. On the right side, we've got some cryocopters. No air defense here. Red hopefully has some Apollo support as teammate because he needs some Apollo support as well. It does lose the Mecha Bay. Neither of the southern players have gotten their own hospital, so Soviet player had a lot of infantry time. The hospital could have made some help, but most of the infantry was crushed, not gunned down. Does take out that prospector there with the cryo shot, and does take out the Apollo in return, or Vindicator in return. Yellow does bring up some mechanized forces. Like he will get gunned up a bit by the multi-gun turret. Could turn the leech beam to leech it away at long range, or the power plant, that also works. Got a command post up here, eyeing for expansion there, because Scion did take this safer one. One of them could take the ore refinery up there. Perhaps the Empire player, since he doesn't have to worry about deploying out Prospector, get up there. Mecha Bay Core has been deployed on out. Trying to destroy some of these garrisons on his way. He does receive some multi-gun turrets in return. And will leech away at long range. This one is still in range a little bit. Ooh, that's bad positioning there. Will receive a lot of fire there. His micro's not been super great with those hammer tanks. Over here we got some, I think that's a Defender VX that went down. Green has claimed his opponent's oil derrick as well. You got these Apollos now advancing, getting some good damage there onto the cryocopters. Infantry force coming out by Green. No hospital capture just yet. It's probably worth it to get the hospital captured. Good bombing run there, but those lose a Vindicator. I believe that was the elite Vindicator. That one is veteran. And we're going to leech away at this multi-gun turret on the high ground. Conscripts are getting inside this garrison here. That's a pretty powerful, large garrison. He's starting to laser block the garrison itself. Doesn't actually get inside the garrison in time, nor is he gunning down the laser block javelins. Fire mode's coming forward. Multi-gun turret is receiving quite a bit of fire, but still up, and is receiving some repairs now. Scion's losing a lot of infantry. He does have a good number of tank busters and tsunami tanks. Power plants start going on down. Apollo's now flying about for escort for his teammate. Vindicator's receiving a bit of fire as well. Overall, Team South has made some great pushes. It's had to fall back a little bit, but Red's Apollos have come forward as well. The Bullfrogs put away at the wrong moment. And now we do have the tank busters advancing with the tsunami tanks to absorb some shots. Hammer tanks maybe eyeing to crush these tank busters. There's a lot of hammer tanks there, and the tank busters getting some free hits in there, and they're generating their health thanks to the Red Hospital. Over here, do got two airfields deployed out at his teammate's base. A lot of structure walls here trying to hold back his opponent. And Red has actually safely expanded out here. No defenses whatsoever. And those walls are all going down individually. They're not being focused down, they're just being general attack. All the walls will be cleaned on up. Power plant will be cleaned on up as well, and that explosion does not do any damage to nearby friendlies. Tank Busters does get some hits there. There's also a good number of javelins and peacekeepers here. Does use a cryo blast there. Gotta not push too far forward or make free zone force there. Does get a nice shatter there of one of the peacekeepers. Single Twin Blades managed to push his way into red space. Not any defense in this region. He needs a multi-gun turret on the high ground. Red MCV is right here. Multi-gun turret has been blown out and does have a bunch of Apollos as well. Green's coming in for some big bomb runs there, but those lose some Apollos. Multi-gun turret does go down. We do have the ore refiner going down. Another command post being deployed and out. Next bomb runs there, does take out some tsunami tanks, and does go ahead and get back to base as well. Science making some good headway against Green. Green does have a lot of infrastructure at sea. That just screams super weapon. Hit me here, but nobody's deployed out any sort of super weapon at the moment. Another Vindicator bomb run, and the Elite one will absorb enough damage to stay alive and does back away from this airbase because it will go down. Ball does take out the Chopper VX as we got a Green aircraft carrier now engaged. It does still up the naval yard there, getting one alive. Good damage there on the aircraft carrier, but needs to fall back to the seaport to get some repairs. No point in letting that go to waste. And Green's Apollos will back away. A lot of his forces are quite wounded. Science will push forward with some infantry, or backwards with infantry, and Science out of anti-air escort, but we'll take out that refinery. There's still one down here with a power plant. Science base being picked apart by the aircraft carrier, who's currently Vet 1. More bombing runs raining on in. We got some infects here, but you will save that tsunami tank. Over here, the Soviet player has a good number of bears. One of them just... Nope, that wasn't a parachute. Parachute there. Good number of bears, some hammer tanks, and twin blades. Not a whole lot of anti-aircraft. Cryo blast does come forward. Does get one of the guardian tanks. Leech beams cannot shatter tanks immediately. More and more of these guardian tanks are being cleaned on up. You may need to just charge forward to go from some massive crushes. Bears not charging forward, does get a horrible roar there. None of the bears got crushed by that guardian tank as well. And now here comes the complete slaughter of the allied forces. Got a lot of heroic bears here, as well as some heroic and elite hammer tank. Twin blades with some bullfrog escort now advancing. No anti-aircraft forces in this region. This infantry will be quickly gunned down. And Team Southside still has not deployed out. Captured their field hospital. Tsunami tanks making their way forward, getting some good damage onto the ore refinery. It does kill a prospector right there. Does get a nice bombing run there on the oil derrick as more of these Apollos or Vindicators does receive quite a bit of fire. Does take out one of the hydrofoils there. Good damage there onto the prospector. They do have a Tesla coil now being deployed on out. Let's take out the power plant there. Tesla core being deployed out here by Yellow to support his teammate, to protect his teammate, but Yellow is low on power now. Hammer tanks are still alive with all the heroic bears on the front line as well. Red is trying to rotate around here, trying to avoid the assault. There is a single Athena here. And does have some chopper mixes, multi-gunner IFVs for anti-aircraft. Green does have some polos here, as well as the aircraft carriers still sieging away. Or actually no, the aircraft carriers are still gone. A massive crowd getting right here. Use the shield. Didn't have time to protect everything there, but the Prospector does remain unfrozen. But there is frozen stuff in its line. Diamond Tank and Pure Warriors with tank class to make their advance, trying to push Green. Green is now basically pushed out to sea. Yellow does have still quite a significant force here. Not sure what he's saving up for. We do have some conscript and bears, as well as a single flak trooper up here as well. The flak trooper is great for the mag mines. Does get a great hits there onto the ore refinery with the missiles. Those free trade has been upgraded for red as well. And bear does clean up the peacekeeper as well. Tesla foil does go down. Now takes charging on board. The multi-gun turret will go down as well. There's still 2 multi-gun turrets over here. And green does activate the now deflectors. Tank buzzers charge on board. They can rip apart the infantry, no problem. Peacekeeper does have the shield upgraded. He could actually get inside the garrison. He does get inside the garrison right there. But the garrison quickly gets the garrison because it got destroyed. Ore refinery does go down. Science pushes quite effective, but there's not enough anti-aircraft forces here. The chopper base is way over here. And Scion's infantry will be cleaned on up. Chopper vehicles will escape on out of there. Yari Mini subs are lined up here. Not enough to be hyper aggressive. There's a good number of them, but it's not a lot to deal with these forces. Tesla coil will be very problematic. It's behind the ore refinery as well, so it'll take a number of angles there to get the Final Forge. And Final Forge is hitting the refinery, which does help the refinery there. Now you can actually take up the Tesla coil.
Taking a little break.
Does shrink the Prospector there. He could crush Soviet's Crusher Crane if that's up and running. And Yellow Soviet has deployed out right next to the Red's refineries, and it's deploying out a Tesla coil. So it looks like Red's or Yellow's going for a turret push. These refineries still has a little less than 15,000. Scion has not expanded down up here. Would imagine Scion would have expanded up there by now. And the garrison would not be fully destroyed, just siphon a bit for health. Looks like Yari Misa does find an angle there and will get frozen. Looks like he probably sawed off these refineries. I don't think he actually got destroyed. And the Hammer Tank's now sitting on up. Bullfrogs, he may need a couple more Bullfrogs, one of them severely wounded as well. We got 2 Athenas here, multiple Mirage Tanks, 4 Mirage Tanks. And we've got Elite and Heroic Athena Cannon. That Athena Cannon needs to back away. We've got Cryo Cannon. Needs to activate his own shield. Does activate his own shield as well, saving those forces for the Mirage Tanks. 3 of them does get frozen there. And that one does get shattered there. And they need to get push forward. He's going to take time. Some of them can leech forward. And come on, get a Prism Cannon. And there's at least 2 Prism Cannons now in the mix. One of them is not the Heroic one. I think that was the Athena Cannon that went down. He saw this Heroic Prism Cannon there. That needs to make sure he stays off of the Leech Beam and start firing away. I think the other Prism Cannon was not actually picked up. Oh, this one has... No, that's not the Prism Cannon there. Vindicators do come on in. Need to hit that Heroic Prism Cannon there, but it does run into a Cryo again on the retreat path. And we'll lose the Prism Cannon one. On the right side, Yari Mini subs harassing his opponent, gains some good damage in. And looks like he was forced to destroy his own Mirage Tank there. And do have a sentry gun going down. Soon he needs the dispenser and teleporter to go along with it, and cancel the sentry gun. Guess he needs the scrap metal for the dispenser. Does he got 2 of the hammer tanks there, very nice, but does get himself a free terror drone. Prospector receiving quite a bit of fire right there. And that does go down. Nanotech mainframe is going on up. So he may be eyeing. Honestly, it may not be Pingoni, it may not be for Shogun Battleship. I have a feeling it's going to be for a Psionic Decimator. That's my guess. Something going out, being queued up right there, but I think it's just a wall segment. Massive wave of jet Tengus does down a number of aircraft there. There's a number of hydrofoils here, as was balloon bombs. Balloon bombs were absorbing a lot of shots there. Balloon bombs, of course, are a great way to absorb shots. Gain some break damage in right there. We got some infects there. Does manage to force destroy that before the terror drone pops back out. And now the Dolphin's going to be moving around trying to hit this infrastructure here. It is just tier 2 right there. And we do have the Ore Collector firing away, getting some damage there onto the Dolphin, trying to get repaired on up. Couldn't get the kill there on the Dolphin, but the Yari Mini Sub will get the kill. Nope. Apollo does go down. Good crowd getting a number of the infantry units. And it does walk another javelin troop in there. Green's Peacekeeper is here to take out the units. He froze. We got a toxic corrosion ability being utilized there. It does get some bottom runs there. Going to crush on all the red infantry there. So red has frontline has collapsed. Science here to support as well. You see mass transform there, trying to go for audible discharge. If not, gun down all the Peacekeepers. One good audible discharge there on the wounded one. Now hammer takes our drone forward, does get a terror drone effect, and we do have some tank busters in the mix, so being one of the hammer tanks there. Cryogeddon, counter Cryogeddon, and that is going to be very successful there. That's back off a little bit, can't get too greedy there. Does freeze another Peacekeeper right there, and will manage to freeze off, kill off most of the shattered units. There's a couple Peacekeeper frozen there, but letting those unfreeze, not a huge problem. Terror drone does manage to get a kill there on one of the tank busters as transforms. Does get some transport micro there, but does get gunned down there as the carcass does not take up the hammer tank there with the terror drones. Multiple terror drone surprises do come on out. This multi-gun turret could be loaded with a tank buster if the airfield goes down. And we got Athena cans engaging the ore refinery. It is depleted there, but still that's income you can't really be afford losing. All these ore. This one has a little bit of income there, but this one's depleted. The Empire player needs to start eyeing to expand once again. And also cancel that damn wall segment because I don't like it seeing it there. Airfield will go down, but it doesn't evacuate in time. He needs another airfield, and looks like the Northern team has surrendered. This is Adam Gray saying thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. So, I'm getting a little bit tired right now. I'm probably going to call it a little bit early today. Well, everybody, thank you for watching.